I've been re-flattening my workbench, and I realized I didn't have any winding sticks to make sure that the top of the bench didn't have any twist to it. So I started with my scrap pile, grabbed a piece of ash, and got to work making a quick set. The first thing I needed to do was re-saw it in half. With that done, I took it to the joiner and surfaced one face. Then I re-squared up my joiner fence and jointed the other edge of the board. Once I had one edge and face joined, I could run it through the thickness planer and table saw to get it down to thickness and size. It's usually useful to have a contrasting wood on one of the corners for the winding stick so it's easier to tell if anything is out. So right here I'm just laying out a layout line so I don't get the pieces mixed up when I'm cutting. Once dialing in the table saw with a setup block, I could go ahead and run my piece through. I didn't have the table saw set up perfectly, so I do still need to go back with a shoulder plane and clean this up to get a tight joint. For the contrasting wood, I decided to use some Padauk, and I always like the look of just a little bit of Padauk with some lighter colored wood. From there, it was rinse and repeat with the milling process for the Padauk. Once milled square, I went ahead and glued it into the rear winding stick. After the glue was dry, I took it over to the bandsaw to cut off the majority of the overhang on the Padauk. Then I took my flush cut saw, trimmed the edges and my hand planes to bring down the Padauk to the same level as the ash. Even with the flush pull saw, there was still a slight overhang of the Padauk, so I took it over to my shooting board to level it all out quickly. Next, it was time to clamp the two pieces together and take my hand plane across the top to make sure that the two pieces were the exact same height as well as parallel to one another. While they were clamped up, I took this opportunity to chamfer the corners a little bit and break all the edges. To make storing this a little easier, I'm adding magnets on each end so that the two will magnetically stick together. Once I drill out the holes for the magnets, I can take my number 4 and smooth out the inside. With that done, I went ahead and put the magnets in and hammered them home. I didn't use any glue for this, but if they fall out, I'll have to stick some in. In addition to the magnets, I also drilled a hole through the entire thing so I can hang it on a bracket when I'm not using it. If you'd like more information on how to use a winding stick in your workflow, I've linked a few videos that I found useful below.